Hi guys, this is the branch vlog for 0.1.8.7. It's quite a big one, so I'll try to go through it as quick as I can while giving at least some decent oversight. There hasn't been too many individual intra-branch videos for this one, simply because I've kind of just been doing so much, and it's been more on the art side of it, less on real stuff to show. So if we just get into it, starting at the top, um, idle and walk, reload, pistol animations needed, reconnecting. Yeah, I tweaked something in the previous build, this one, the sell and trade one, and for whatever reason it broke. It must have been right at the start of February, so I can't completely remember it, but just one of those quirks. It was probably from me. Later on I'll discuss it upgrading to version 3. So finished door transition process. I believe I did do a video about this, but it'll be easier to just show you it really. So you see it's a white door, and he walks through it. I do a little cinematic camera thing, white door again, like that. But just like Resident Evil, old school games. Uh, that's because it overlaps. Ignore that, it is a black door, or a dark grey door. Here we go. That's on the things to fix. There we go. So you got like that, and then it's chaos in here, so I'll go over this stuff later. So white door again, as you can see, it just follows the same process, the same thing. I've got it to create a separate level. I feed through the door variable. I'm kind of sharing the screen so you can't see it too well. I'm splitting the screen so you can't see it too well. But I will show you it quickly. So see, so when you open it, that's the door. That's the level it opens. Door transition level. Door transition level is it's just a floor. Like I believe it's just this floor. A random door, so like door BP, because that's the parent, and I think door alt BP is like a child of this one, if I remember correctly. So it's just a default door, and it's open sprite, like what sprite it should be, hidden on this side, but it's instance editable. So when you go into this level through the game instance, you feed it the door sprite, so light grey, dark grey, and then at the moment, and then whatever it is, it's light grey, dark grey on that side. Cinematic camera just bobs up and down. There's a bit of a walk animation, and that's how I do it. And then at the end of that, I get it to load up the next level. The way I get it to load up the next level is I not only feed it the door transition level, but I feed it the level destination. So that's how, even though it goes into another level, it magically knows what it needs to load up after. So that's how that one works. I really enjoy doing that actually. Rework door animations, yeah, so use the variable. I had to change it to name string because you can use a weld variable, but if I just show you it, I might get rid of, there we go on the left, weld variable. You can get a weld variable by doing open by object reference and then doing like promote to variable, but you cannot set one. So works completely fine in terms of this concept, doesn't work completely fine in terms of storing it into a game instance or storing the level. So that's why that one works, because that one just loads straight to it. But I can't feed that variable through because the weld variable is not an option. So I had to do a name variable and feed it. Well, technically a string, but it's a name for a reason, because the original thing's a name, the original variable's name, and then I feed it through as a string, and I feed it in the options, you see, and then the options, that's like just magic. I did it ages ago, and I was like, no way this will work. Like options, well, how's it going to know it's the next level? But I'd preset it up about 4 months ago, so clearly I'm forgetting stuff. But that's why there was that issue there. Create door version 2. Version 2 is one where it feeds that sprite you just saw. Object-oriented programming style heal system. Yep, let's grab that. I've moved a bunch of assets as well, so it might take me a little while to find stuff right away. So small is the parent, and then yeah, health, medium, and large are the children of small. Yep. So there's like a master item blueprint, and then a child of the master item blueprint is health small, and that is like almost the master of all health items. And you see here, I've just got health value. I make it editable. Probably don't need to make. Oh, it's just instance editable. It's not expose and spawn. Okay, good. That little icon confused me. So I do that, and then just on medium, we'll do full blueprint. You see the health value there. I just changed the health value, and then it just that logic you saw it doing just does it again. I've just tweaked the variable, so just they've made it a bit more slick, object-oriented programming style rather than copy and pasting stuff so much, because that was one of the first things I did a long time ago. So it wasn't as slick as the others. Stamina's the same. Well, stamina and infection are exactly the same sort of concept. Stress, I haven't done stress yet. Tweaking infection sprites. Yeah, I didn't have the. I think the issue was in the sprites. They weren't the best quality, and it was something to do with. If I go to thumbnails, I've changed this as well. Right clicked it, and I changed one. I changed one of the properties. It was. I can't for the life of me remember, but there's an option in here which makes it change the quality of the image. Let's see if I can find it through that way. It's one of these. Origin. No. Sorry, it's been a little while. But yeah, there is an option where you can choose the quality of something, and I needed to set it to this is a user interface quality, and like user interface UI quality, and it changed it to look more crisp, like these ones you're seeing. I think those ones, I might need to look at those just again because they look a bit different. It might just be the font because it's small, but that's what that one was. And then yeah, small, medium, large for infection, and the medkit one, stamina as well, but I haven't done the stamina sprites yet, so that's why stamina hasn't popped up on here. Thumbnail changes. So yeah, I created some fun thumbnails. If I just give you the full background just for detail, because I think you will find this one of the more useful things. Originally, when I did the thumbnails, I couldn't do right click, extract sprites, and then just just like get it to like do the little squares each one of these and go like, oh, cut out that, cut out that, cut out that, like you normally do with extract sprites, because they were coming out with sprites and I needed textures. So let me just grab it. This is where I try and remember where everything's gone. Okay, let's pick one where it'll pop up. Let's think. Inventory slots. Where is it? Inventory slot. Here. Not that one. Not that one. Here we go. So you'll see on a lot of the YouTube videos as well that they use this. So you get the item icon and you do item brush from texture, and then you select the texture, and that's one of these variables. So I had to create that list of blueprint thumbnails you saw there in our Photoshop, and then I had to copy and paste each one of those squares with all the detail into its own separate texture, and then import that all separately in the version 1 of it, rather than just being able to do extract sprites, because I needed it to be a texture. I can't do extract textures from texture, but realised through trial and error, and then realised online it's also someone else figured this out. You can do extract brush, set brush from Atlas interface. Though it says Atlas region, you can feed in a sprite. So that thumbnail is just like a paper sprite you can see. But this item info with the paper sprites are pointing to like these in the items, in those consumable items you saw. So now I can just add a new one to this list, and then I'm like, oh, if I change 3 of them, I'm like, oh god, I've got to do it through Photoshop again and do all, cut out bit by bit like cookies. Don't need to do that. Now, recreate it, save it, upgrade it, save it, re-import it. These re-import. If they don't re-import by default, there's an option. I did a video about this actually, to just go through. If they re-import but the textures don't look quite right, you can do edit property matrix and you select the ones you want. Then there is, where have you hidden yourself? There is an option. It won't let me do it on this one, but there is an option on the other sprite. Certainly, if you look at that video, where I can change the value it's pointing to, and it's almost like it resets all the sprites just to realign appropriately. Can't find an example in this for whatever reason. If you look at that video, the clear-cut examples, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I think it's only a couple of minutes. Really helpful, because if you're anything like me and you've got, it's like my main character's got 1200 sprites extracted from a diffuse and a normal, and if I need to bump the image like 3 pixels to the right, I don't want to then have to click on every single one, go in and do 69, 70 to kind of reset how it's visually looking. It's just a quirk with Unreal. You think just being able to do like a refresh would solve it? Doesn't. At least not with sprites. So that's what that is. And sorry, that was a bit of a detour. But in terms of thumbnails v2, which I'm talking about now I can just extract it, update it, extract it again, all over again, get it all done. They all pop into there, and then I can just do like, okay, so thumbnail used to be texture, now thumbnail is sprite, because I was able to change it, and that you see item info, that slot's pointing to this. And then I could just be like, okay, which one do I want? And it is a world of difference. It's cutting out a huge bit of the middle manual extraction creation process. That's just been left there just in case it didn't work. But yeah, works, changed them all, works lovely. That's that one. Version 2 to version 3 for the weapons. Yeah, I wasn't using the thumbnail, version 2 thumbnails for the weapons. So you see, like when I pick them up on the wrong one, when I pick them up, you see it's got that look. I just cut out that image and I dumped that as the actual world image. That was still like a version. I think it's like a version 1. So just quirky throwbacks. That thing on the left, you see, I'll go into detail on one of the issues I solved. So I will refrain from tempting myself to start saying it now and then go off on a detour. Idle sprites for all enemies, that relates to these, and I think there's a couple like interspersed, so yeah, like them, and that one. Version 3 quality. So I said it before, Version 1 was 35 by 35, that was me testing it out. Version 2, 70 by 70. Version 3, 140 by 140. What you're seeing now is version 3. Version 4 is 140 by 140 again, but slick and perfect. And you know, like, oh my god, it's like production ready. So that's why you'll see some rough edges with things, because it is just, they're all version 3s. Fixed NPC going rogue. Yep, quicker to show you it. Let's hope it loads up the right door. Yeah, it did. Okay. This guy. Got this guy randomly patrolling, and for whatever reason he was going like 500 miles an hour. Something had changed. Like almost like it went to a default value. Fucking hell, it's changing something else that is easy to fix. Upgrade Flipbooks version 3 for split head and medical. Yes. I've done the idols version 3s for all enemies, so you'll see the new enemies, they have the same behaviour, but they're just on one animation, because it's just idols. It took me ages, because you can't do parent-child with paper ZD animation sources, so animation sequence, animation blueprint, sorry, the one where you wire it all up and you say what you're supposed to do with the animation states. Yeah, so I had to, it was a manual process, but either way, version 3s, when where is he? There's that split head one, the one with the one arm. At a certain point, he will be a version 3 sprite, and the medicals, when they stay still, see they're version 3, but then they change back to version 2 when they stop. So they're never going to change it back now, because there you go, you can see it. I've done it so you can see the version 3s. Oh, it's a war zone in there now. Better object-oriented programming for enemy and children. Yeah, originally, it's the split head one, the one with one arm and like half his ribs showing and his head literally split. Should have just said that. He was a child of that zombie medical one. So you saw there was like a black clothes, black person, black clothes, white person, and then white clothes, bald, white clothes, bit more hair, and then white clothes, like messed up face one. Those medical ones, the original zombies are created, the original enemies. The original enemies were a parent of, well, originally themselves, so then I added in a master enemy, and then I made the medical, the original zombies, a child of the master enemy, but Splithead was still a child of zombie medical. So that's what that's talking about. I just repointed it, all pointing to the master enemy, rather than it being like some sort of pass-through. Now everything, it's like a hierarchy, everything just comes off that master enemy. Idle animation for zombie skull face. Go through all the idle animations together. Reworked entire thumbnail process. Yep, I've already said that. Fire mode isn't passed through. Yes, here we go. So I'll be able to, off the back of this, I realised I can really simplify what I feed to the game instance and the save load system, the save slot information. I've done overkill. I've been too granular feeding it weapon information when the weapon information is held on the weapon itself. So I just need to pass through the class of the weapon and then branch out. You know when I did like the item info and you crack out and I got the thumbnail, all the information's on there. I just need to get the class and then branch it all out and then feed it through that at runtime, rather than having to create a variable and do like save load, pass through all this stuff. So, but you see right now it says single, and there we go. I always press the wrong button. Like I cannot change. I think it's V. Cannot change it. The fire mode pink, the maroon color. I don't know where that gun's gone. That's a bug. So I can't change it. I go to another room. It says single on the left. You see it's gone. And it comes back. Originally, it was gone and didn't come back because I'll just do it before they all kill me. So yeah, I've still only got single fire mode, which is what I wanted. Originally, when I passed her into the door transition level, it lost the fire mode, and then I realized, oh, I haven't like passed through the fire mode information, and then I passed it through, and then that's when I realized I didn't need to do that. I can just get it to use the the like structure, the struct. I'll show you what's going on at the moment, and then you'll know what I mean. Event. So this is event begin play. There's a bunch of videos to do with this, and it starts at the game instance. Event begin play happens every time you load a level, so I need to do the game instance. But you go into the second level, you don't want your variables to default, so I have to float through a game instance. I've also got an autosave save slot that does a similar thing, but game instance is like at time of processing. The moment you like close the game, it's gone. But the save slot works like proper save load system. It keeps the information forever. And yeah, you can see here, update the level, update information, character health, all that stuff. And here, so I'll get it to pass through the weapon info, all this other stuff. And then I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, I'll also get it to pass through all the different ammo types and everything, and all this stuff. And I don't need to do it. I can just pull through this. If I just do break, you see, if I line it up, it's already got all this information. So, but originally I didn't have the fire mode pass through effectively. So you had the current fire mode that went, but I didn't have the list of available fire modes. So you went into the new level. You had, let's say, you had like best on your PDW like SMG. You go to the next level. You've still got best. Great. The moment you go to change it, it'll go single best, full auto, which are the defaults. But the problem is, it would break the system the moment you went to shoot, because those available fire modes are default, but they're not. If they're not there, it breaks the whole code of the way I get it to like go through, like loop through all the available fire modes. So with the pistol, you've got single, great. Go into a new room, single, great. You've got to change the weapon mode, even though you should only have single. It has single, best, full auto again, but there's no code for best and full auto for single. Like, I could get it to work real simple, but it's just locked to not do it, so then it just crashes the full thing. So then you see here, this is like an interim thing just to test it. I crack open the equipped weapon class of this thing, crack it open. I get the fire mode, which is, well, let me delete, it's a bug, I'll just undo it. Yeah, gets the fire mode, pop it back, and then it breaks it, and then yeah, it gets fire mode, feeds it into available fire modes directly into not the game instance. It pulls from the struct and feeds it directly into the game at that level. So that's what's happening there. Also means further down the line, I can cut out that. I can cut out that. I can cut out all this and just have it feed that through, pull everything through, just like you see through this. And that's what that one's about. So that was fire mode not being passed through on level movement, wider discovery there. What else have we got? Right click aim functionality. I think I made this a while ago, but I don't think I ever said I did it, and I just tested it and said, oh cool, I've already made it. So you see, rather than holding control now, you could do like right click. You'll also notice before I said there was a bug where the first time you try and aim, the cursor doesn't pop up. It's a bit, it doesn't always pop up now, does it? But yeah, now it kind of does pop up first time, but I need, something must have been getting in the way of it, but that's still a bug to look at. We'll talk about those after. Hybrid style randomizer. Yeah, here we go. We've got enemy. We've got zombie. So originally there was two distinct styles. Split Head had a there we go. Had a uninjured. I've just been injured. Play this one animation, and after this animation's done, injured set of sprites, and then final form set of sprites. So uninjured ones are still pretty messed up, but they've got 100% health. It makes them have a certain sprite sheet, and then the first time they get in, their health lowers, it triggers injured. They do a little animation, so like bits fall off them, and then it's like a transition because the uninjured is the uninjured sprite set, the injured is the injured sprite set, and that's just a little animation that transitions between it, and then after it, the bits falling off them, then it gets the end result of that animation is the constant result of this injured, and then if yeah, and then if they get even more injured, I believe it then does the final form. I do need to double check it because I kind of feel like that's overlapping somehow. But yeah, so that's the injury state. So it's like an uninjured, injured, and final form. Further down the line, I want to like give it like not more health, but like make it more aggressive. So that is the uninjured, injured animation blueprint style. And then for the medical one, which was the first one I did, I created a sprite randomizer. So there's a rand variable on the why don't I just show you it here, enemy. There's a rand variable on begin play. Oh no, it's now a function. So the rand variable here, and on begin play, pick a random number. Originally it's between 0 and 4 because there's 0 and 3 because there is 5 sprite sheets. You might be thinking that doesn't make any sense. 0, yeah, bald. 1, hair. 2, black. 3, alternate black. And if it's not 0, 1, 2, 3, do the scarred one. So you see it does create 4. It's just like that's like an L. That's like an else in logic. So that was originally 0 and 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 different unique things. I then changed that to max styles including 0, so now that is enemy specific customizable because not all of them have 5 different sprite variants. Some of them have 1, some have 2, some of them have 3. So that's that, and I fed it into here. You see there's no animation. Sorry, one sec. Right, I'm back. I'm gonna have to edit that. Shopping came. Right. Yes, so I've now got that style randomizer. There's no injured, uninjured there. There was on the other one. And I've got an issue to upgrade medical and split head to use both, but the future ones, the ones I've made right now, if I go to like infusion pump, zombie, get rid of all that, you can see it's a very manual process, upgrading it to here. I've now got uninjured, just injured, and the injured sprites, so 2 sprite sets, and then like that transitional uninjured to injured. But not only that, I've fused in the style randomizer, so uninjured, and I've got the beard one uninjured and the ginger one uninjured grey, and then everything else. So that now means not only does it randomize the sprite styles, but they have the injury logic as well. maybe I can try and do it. So try and remember what the enemies look like. So let's pick one out. I'll show you what I mean. Let's pick one that can change. Well, you've already seen it with the medicals, but oh, it's mad, absolutely mad. Yeah, that's the face peeling one. Just testing that out. That one with the maroon top. Sometimes he's green. That one on the floor. Sometimes he's all like skull faced. That engineer one with the the orangey top. Sometimes he's not bald, and the one with the warts. Sometimes he doesn't have warts. Oh, that door doesn't open. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, that one in the red and white. Sometimes he's bald. So you see, it creates that randomness to it. I thought that was pretty cool. As you can tell, even the designer can't survive. Idle animations, I'll talk about that in a bit. Idle sprites for all NPCs. I shouldn't have ticked that. I didn't read that properly. That's not done. And yeah, it's all these. So now the rest of it is just the idle animation stuff I'll show you. So I had to create all these different idle animations. They're in enemies. You see, I've done every single one there. Then we've got, there was some rooms where there was extra enemies, by the way. I didn't go into those, like Barry and Jackie's room. So you get raw, which is sprite extract, as you'd expect. You know, you right click, apply settings, and you extract sprites. And then for this one, I do like 140 by 140, and then I'm like just do the first two rows like that. I could go like that, but I wasn't sure if it would do something weird, so the numbers would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. When in reality, when I re-import the full list, I don't want it to get the numbers wrong. So that's why I've done it in rows format rather than just precision. So that's the, as you can see, that's like the skull version of it. He's having a bit of a tough time, poor lad. Yeah, and then I do, these are usually, each flipbook is supposed to be one of these, like that, but they're not in this case because it's all idle animation placeholders, like I told you. So then I had to do an animation source. I had to create each one. So after a couple, I got it in my head. I knew exactly what I needed to do for each. So you need to do like an injured batch, an uninjured batch, and an uninjured batch for each one of the variants. Then you need like a death, and then you need like a variant death. Death is death, isn't it? You don't need to have like an injured death, uninjured death, unless you wanted to do different death animations. So it's got a singular death style at the moment. Uninjured to injured follows the exact same thing. So right now, interesting. I have clicked the wrong skull. Well, I could show you. I could show you this bit then. I'll show you how I do it. Like that. Right click. Rather than having to do it one by one, edit property matrix. Let's get everything that's a skull. Is there more? Yes. Uninjured, injured, the transition, and the death. And you see here, animation source. Type in skull. There we go. You see I picked the wrong one. You click that, boom, changes all the sprites to that, rather than having to do, oh, okay, what's that? Oh, which one's that? And then double clicking and go, oh, which one's that? So that gets around it using the property matrix again. Property matrix is fantastic. So that's the crippled legs one. There's death, all the others, infusion pump one. All just idles at the moment, except from medical, and except from split head. And then I'm just gonna expand upon these because this placeholder is already made. Now all I need to do is draw the new sprites, re-import the PowerPoint, and then create new flipbooks, and then just get like the green death one. So this one's it's a bit of a look at that one. When he dies, I'll just when he dies, I create the paper flipbook thing. So when he dies, I'll make it do that transition on like the green death, just repoint it. That is, yeah, that is pretty much everything. It took a long while to do it because, as you can see, there were so many enemies, and prior to this branch I'd only done medical, split head, and a very basic prototype of this one. Yeah, so I had to design all of them. I mostly just got them blinking. A couple of them have variants. A couple of them, like, it's definitely a version 3 and not a finalized version 4. You know what I mean? Because it's just not perfect. This one was quite fun to make. I'll take the lighting off. There we go. So yeah, you make it in Photoshop and then you do like a normal map, and then it looks like that. It's on the edge normal, so it's not truly perfect. Realistically, that should be much darker, where his stomach is. He's not a randomly fat one just for the sake of it. Stuff's going to burst out of him when you injure him, but that's further down the line. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bit of a long one, and I will need to cut it because that's the game. But yeah, that's that. Thank you, and next branch, I'm going to look at the hotkeys and items. So you saw in thumbnails, there's a bunch of empty ones, and there's a bunch of like not done thumbnails. So that's the next branch. I'm going to blast through, I think, just these ones, just ones that have been done at the moment, because I want to get a bunch of the idle NPCs sprites, just like the enemies, but the NPC versions. I want to get a bunch of them done before the 1st of April, which is the official kind of 1 year since I started doing this stuff. So yeah, that probably a couple of days. That the rest of March. Yeah, thank you, and yeah, see you later.